Hello and welcome to your Taurus horoscopes for the week of November 11th, 12th, sorry, through the 19th. Sorry, today's the 11th, the 12th through the 19th, and things are starting to calm down just a little bit. We've had a couple of crazy weeks. There's still a little bit of craziness, but it is nothing like how it has been. And actually, by the end of the week, it really calms down a lot. So we start off again, pardon me, with Uranus in opposition with the Sun and Mars. That's going to continue through this week. The Moon moving into that opposition as it moves into conjunction with the Sun and Mars does make it a little bit more challenging the first couple of days in the week. Uranus and Pluto, both. Pluto's also in opposition with the Moon at this time, both focused on the mind and how the mind works, while we have all of the other planets in Scorpio and opposition, which are all focused on your long-term goals. So this is actually a really interesting lineup as far as I can see here, because your mind does have everything to do with your success, and your mindset has everything to do with your success. So when we add an emotional element like the moon to this, I just recently noticed, literally in the last week or so, that when you go through something that is really emotionally challenging, I lost a pet a few days ago. And in that time, in that morning time, I felt so low. I mean, just like my life was just out of kilter and it was never going to get better and it just looked bleak. And it's really easy to, when you're emotionally upset about something, to fall into that in all the other categories of your life, and it's really hard to pull yourself out of that at the same time. So what I'm looking at here is that when you're getting your long-term goals together, if you're in an emotional mindset at the time, it's really going to create a lot more challenges. And with Jupiter being focused on the mind and how the mind works, Jupiter is retrograde. So, in terms of expanding on that or even changing that, that in itself creates a bit of a challenge. As we move through the week, though, things do calm down a little bit. We don't have the moon influencing things. We are going to continue to have Uranus in opposition with the Sun and Mars all week long. And to add another layer of this, now that we've taken the emotional element of it out, to add another layer to this, we have Mars, which is technically an emotional planet because it does represent anger and it does represent aggression in some way. And because the Sun and Mars are so closely in conjunction with each other this week, they're really working together. It's kind of a scary combination when you think about it, because you have all of that fire and anger working together. On one hand, that's an incredible amount of ambitious energy going towards your goals. On another hand, with Uranus being retrograde, we're really looking at finding the old ways that have always worked in order to achieve this goal. Even though a lot of things have changed recently, I mean, the whole entire world is just kind of sort of turned upside down. At least that's how it feels to a lot of people. So I feel like it's really necessary in terms of getting through this challenge. It's really necessary to keep your mindset positive as much as you can, to be very open to, pardon me, any way of solving a problem, even if it's a way that you've used before and didn't work before, doesn't mean that it won't work in this particular situation. It's worth a shot, right? Nobody fails unless they stop trying. Now, Uranus continues to be in this grand sextile with Pluto and Neptune as well. Neptune is focused on the past, while Pluto is bringing some inner trauma into this. A grand sextile really is a positive aspect, something that's supposed to be helping you through difficult times. But when you think about it, your trauma and, the trauma that took place in the past, we always look at it as being something that holds us back, but there is always elements of it that really help us at the same time. So we don't want to look at it as specifically bad. So there's always things that we can learn that are helpful in these situations. Case in point, living a traumatic childhood for me actually works in my favor in terms of what I do. I couldn't connect with people who had the same background if I didn't experience it myself. So it works in my favor, honestly. And I'm grateful for it every day. Believe it or not, I am grateful for it every day because it made me a very tough person. A lot of people that I have met who have not experienced that in their lives tend to put themselves in a victim situation constantly because they have no way of identifying that there's a problem there. So again, it works in my favor when you think about it. If you're always looking for how it's helping you, then it will always help you. If you're always looking at how it's hurting you, then it will always hurt you and hold you back. So interesting challenges that are coming up this week, but they're not the worst challenges that we've dealt with either. We'll put it that way. I know, I'm saying the same thing. It would be really nice to get a break from challenges, but I don't think that is going to happen, unfortunately. Life doesn't work that way. It's continuing to push us to be the very best that we can be. And we just have to keep being the very best that we can be. That's all there is to it, right? I know there's several Taurus ladies out there who know exactly what I'm talking about. They're going to roll their eyes and they're going to go, again, fine. And then they're going to do it, because that's what you guys do. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation through my coffee link, which is in the description. I appreciate all the coffees. I do love my coffees. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, I expect you guys to just make it a powerful week because it's in your power to do so. And why not? You might as well, right? The alternative is not as fun. I'll see you guys next week. You guys kick ass this week.